Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome to our kitchen.
I'm Kristen.
And we're Keto in the Country.
This is your channel for smart, healthy, whole food recipes.
And today is Kristen's special recipe. You
Yes.
have to have condiments.
Have to have condiments. Have to in our household. And today we are making the best candied jalapenos. So
You can get them in jars,
Yes.
but they have a lot of carbs,
They
and
do.
for probably about a year,
Yeah.
we've been wanting to figure this out. So
Yes.
we got this recipe from Kristen's mother.
Yes.
And we just made the keto substitutions.
Right.
And you cannot miss this.
Right. So for this part, I am going to let Christy explain how we sterilize the jars.
She was not supposed to say that. I love canning. And this is not full-on canning, but it is a water bath.
Right.
So the first thing that we've got to do, and don't let this intimidate you. This is so easy. Usually you say the word canning and people freak out.
Like it's a huge process or something.
Yeah, this is not. And for those of you who have done it, you know. So the first thing that we need to do is sterilize the jars. So this is what we're doing. This is in boiling water.
Yeah.
And actually, I think they're hot enough.
And so while we remove this water, clean them out, dry them, which is super important. All of these steps that we take are absolutely necessary.
Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to do first is we are going to go ahead and make the syrup that the jalapenos are going to go in. And now this is super simple. We used about 2/3 of a cup of apple cider vinegar. So we're going to pour that in here. And what we want to do is we want to bring it to a boil. Now, because we're keto, we're using a sugar substitute. We are using erythritol, and because it's sweeter than normal sugar, the ratio is a little bit less. So today we're going with 1 cup of sugar.
And we decided to use the erythritol mainly for monetary purposes because we usually use monk fruit and it's so expensive.
Yes.
So we think erythritol will do just fine.
Yes.
Actually, we used erythritol to pickle our bread and butter pickles.
Yes.
So it worked out just perfect. Okay, is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. We decided on a 1/4 teaspoon because it's going to be hot anyway.
Exactly.
A 1/4 teaspoon of celery seed.
And the celery seed kind of surprised me. I didn't know that celery seed went into any kind of pickling or candying, but
I've never used it.
But you guys, this recipe is my favorite thing that my mom makes probably. She gives it out as Christmas gifts.
and everybody loves them.
Yes.
Okay, and a 1/4 teaspoon of the garlic powder.
Yes.
We're using garlic powder. And for my favorite health ingredient is turmeric.
Yes.
I'm going to it's a little heaping 1/4 of a teaspoon.
Yes, she likes a lot of it, and it's super healthy, so go ahead.
All right, so that wraps it up.
That simple. We're going to go ahead, turn the heat on high, and bring it to a rolling boil. So probably for about 5 minutes.
Oh, and you just burnt me up.
Christy's in flames. And then, once we get this boiling, we're going to let it simmer for about 5 minutes, and then we will add the jalapenos. Okay, so the liquid is boiling.
Is that hot?
Take a look. Oh, super hot.
Perfect.
It's just how we want it. So now, Christy is going to add a pound of the jalapenos that she cut this morning while I was sleeping.
Yes.
And we are going to let these simmer for 4 minutes exactly. It's super important, like we said.
That's what Mom said.
Yeah.
4 minutes exactly.
So we're going to let these go ahead and simmer, and we will be back to transfer them to the jars.
Okay. All right, so it's been 4 minutes.
Yes.
All we need to do now, going to give it a stir.
And now Christy made a really good point. Initially, when you add the jalapenos, it's going to look like there's certainly not enough liquid. I was panicked a little, but Christy says, trust the process.
You have to trust the process. Plus, like, as these jalapenos boil, they'll release water, which will make more liquid.
Right. And you want to fill those almost all the way to the top.
Yeah. Actually, a little more. You want to leave about 1.5 inches, sort of poke that down.
Yeah.
About 1.5 inches to 2 inches.
They're beautiful. They are a great gift. Or if you're going to a party, it's a great thing to bring. I mean, any leftovers, if there are any, people will appreciate just having in their refrigerator.
We bring everything to parties.
So many parties.
So many parties we go to. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to finish transferring these. We're going to bring the liquid back up to a boil. So for about 6 more minutes, keep that on a rolling boil, and then we will be back to pour it into our jars.
Okay, so while we're waiting for the syrup to reboil, this is a very important step. Once we've loaded the jalapenos into the jar, you have to make sure the mouth is completely dry. This will prevent bacteria from forming, and if bacteria forms, it won't seal properly. So it does have to be completely dry. And we'll do this again after we add the liquid.
Okay, so we already hear it coming to a boil, so we're gonna go ahead and remove the top.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. You can see it's beautiful. It's boiling. We still have some of the seeds in there. Now, if you don't like spicy, then you might just want to get rid of these seeds, discard them.
No, we like the spice.
Yes. So, Christy is going to ladle this.
Anyhow, this is Kristen's recipe, but Christy's doing all the work.
I'm teaching her. I'm just kidding. She's teaching me because, to me, canning can be a little bit intimidating.
And I grew up doing it.
Right.
And actually, this is my grandmother's little thing. I don't even know what you call this, but it just makes pouring the liquid in easier. That way you don't spill it all over the place. Yeah. So the next step, we have loaded the jars. We have it on top. we looked at the directions, and it is 2 inches above the jar. So we'll just put these in here. We probably have to add a little water.
And these grabbers are very handy, especially when it comes to even taking them out once they're super hot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so once these jars are covered by 2 inches of water, you're going to want to cover it, bring it to a boil for about 10 minutes before removing them to a cooling rack.
Now, okay, so we're going to cover it.
Yep.
And once again, we will be right back. Okay, so they have been water bathing in their water bath for 10 minutes. Oh, gorgeous. Look.
Yes.
Oh, this is going to fog the overhead. That's okay.
Okay, so we are going to take these out now. If I can figure out how to use these little grabbers.
Because you have them backwards.
Oh, boy. Should I still put it out? Okay.
Okay, those are the handles.
That's going to be hot, isn't it?
Yeah. Wait.
Hot.
They're not.
Okay, not hot.
You guys, this is such a fun and easy thing to do. We hope we've made the steps clear.
Yes.
But we've had a lot of fun doing it. And these bottles, I can't touch it, are absolutely, look at that.
They're gorgeous.
They're gorgeous.
They're the perfect gift. They're wonderful for the holidays, for entertaining.
I can't wait to taste them.
Oh, me either. Remember, 2 weeks, you guys.
Yep, 2 weeks. We're going to have to wait 2 weeks. We'll do a special recipe that we can just do these on.
Right.
Thanks for watching. We hope you do it. If you do, let us know.
And thank you so much for joining. Bye.
Okay. So while we're waiting for this to boil, a very important step, and it has to do with the bacteria.
Yes.
This, ouch.
Was it hot? Okay. In the refrigerator?
No.
Oh, store.